Step into the darkness where reality blurs and nightmares come alive. As I drove down the familiar stretch of road, I couldn't shake the feeling of déjà vu that washed over me. It was the same road I had traveled down countless times before, the same sights and sounds that had become ingrained in my memory over the years. The streetlights cast long shadows across the asphalt, their warm glow offering a faint sense of comfort amidst the darkness of the night. I passed by the same row of houses, their windows glowing with the soft light of television screens and table lamps. But despite the familiarity of my surroundings, there was something different in the air, a sense of unease that lingered just beneath the surface. It was as if the very fabric of reality had been subtly altered, leaving me feeling disoriented and out of place. I tried to push the feeling aside, to focus on the road ahead and the promise of home waiting for me at the end of my journey. But no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't shake the sense of impending doom that hung over me like a dark cloud. Without warning, disaster struck. A deafening screech of tires filled the air, followed by the sickening crunch of metal as my car careened off the road and into a ravine below. The suddenness of the impact sent shockwaves rippling through my body, jolting me out of my seat and slamming me against the dashboard with bone-jarring force. The world outside my windshield became a blur of twisted metal and shattered glass as my car tumbled end over end down the steep embankment. Each impact sent waves of pain shooting through my body, my limbs flailing helplessly as I was tossed about like a ragdoll in the maw of some unseen beast. The air was thick with the acrid smell of burning rubber and gasoline, mingled with the metallic tang of blood as it trickled down my forehead and into my eyes. Time seemed to slow to a crawl as the world spun around me, flashes of light and darkness blurring together in a chaotic frenzy. I tried to regain control of the vehicle, to steer it away from the impending doom, but it was too late, the laws of physics had already sealed my fate. With a bone-jarring impact, my car slammed into the unforgiving earth below, the force of the crash sending shards of glass and twisted metal flying in all directions. Pain exploded through my body like a fiery inferno, every nerve screaming in agony as I was tossed around like a ragdoll in the wreckage. For a moment, I lay there in stunned silence, trying to make sense of what had just happened. But as the shock began to wear off, the reality of my situation came crashing down upon me like a ton of bricks. I was trapped. The crushing weight of the wreckage pressed down on me from all sides, pinning me in place as if I were nothing more than a bug caught in a spider's web. Blood trickled from a gash on my forehead, dripping down my face in a macabre dance of crimson and despair. I tried to move, to free myself from the twisted metal prison that held me captive, but it was no use, every inch of my body screamed in protest, protesting against the slightest movement. I was trapped, helpless to do anything but wait for rescue or succumb to the inevitable. And as the minutes turned into hours, I felt my strength slowly ebbing away, drained by the relentless agony that gripped me like a vice. With each passing moment, my vision grew dimmer, the world around me fading into a hazy blur of pain and confusion. I knew that my time was running out. With trembling hands, I reached for my phone, desperate to call for help, but it was nowhere to be found, lost amidst the wreckage, just like any hope of escape. Tears welled up in my eyes as I realized the full extent of my predicament. I was alone, stranded in the middle of nowhere, with no one to hear my cries for help. But even as despair threatened to consume me, a flicker of hope ignited within my chest. Maybe, just maybe, someone would come looking for me. Maybe they would find me before it was too late, before the darkness swallowed me whole. But deep down, I knew the truth, I was beyond saving. With a heavy heart, I closed my eyes and let the darkness take me, embracing the sweet release of oblivion as my final thoughts drifted away on the cold night breeze. And in the end, as the world faded to black, I knew that my time had run out. The crash had left me broken and battered, my life slipping away with each passing moment until I drew my final breath.